Alright everybody, how's it going? I'm back with another video. This time it's going to be a little bit different. I wanted to discuss a little bit of Amazon New World that's coming up here on the 20th of next month. I want to go over a little bit of speculation as well as discussing some of the things that you can expect from me in this game. Man, there's a lot. So typically, I see a lot of YouTube videos out there that, you know, go over all the patch notes and go over a lot of the website and things like that, but that's not really the type of content that I'm interested in doing. Most of mine is going to be gameplay, reactions to things going on in the game. We may go over a couple trailers here and there, but for the most part, you can expect a lot of adventuring and a lot of fun. So be sure to come by and check it out. And with that said, let's go over a few things real quick, and then we'll get into some speculation. Now, I was part of the beta at one point or another last year, and I, did not really... I can't go into too much detail, unfortunately, just because of the NDA and all that. So we're going to avoid talking about too many things, but we can discuss the future for sure. So if you come to the website, you can hop over to the creator thing. If you're planning on becoming a creator for this game, I'd really suggest getting in on it. I'm not going to read through everything. You can pause and, work out what you can expect from the creator program. But there is a sign up button on the site, and I strongly suggest doing it. I mean, can't hurt, right? But hopping back over to the news, they've been really active with the community lately, and a lot of the questions that I myself have asked them on Twitter and on different platforms, they've been really helpful at responding to, which is quite odd to me, only because of dealing with people like EA and whatnot. Those devs don't tend to respond to their community very well, but hats off to the dev team for New World and actually responding. Now, we have been getting a lot of updates lately. They've been releasing stuff from the alpha, which is crazy to me, and giving all kinds of updates on our on their Twitter, as well as on their site, which is just crazy. They've been keeping plenty of videos for you to wet your whistle on, as well as like some really awesome screenshots. Now, I love purple, so this is gonna be an amazing biome. I've never seen anything like this. This is really cool. You gotta love all the architecture and ghosts, and just the whole thing just looks great. Really enjoy watching the combat system and all the new weapons that they're adding into the game. They did a thing on Twitter where they actually showed off a gauntlet covered in ice, which was really cool. And as for me, I think I'm more interested in leveling slowly and trying to experience all the quests at their appropriate level. And then once we get in to max level and endgame. I'm hoping to have built a community by that point, and maybe we can make our own guild and try to take over some territories and do all the craziness together as a group. That would be amazing. Or even if we end up just falling into another group with a different leader, that would be absolutely acceptable as well. But as long as we're all having a good time, that's all that really matters. Just the mask there is awesome. Really like it. The weapons look pretty cool. This is probably the weapon I'll be using mostly. Is the hatchet, just because I like throwing them around. Got somebody here doing some forging, all kinds of really cool stuff. But look at it. Just look at it. I love everything about the aesthetic of this game. It's really nice to finally be getting into some MMOs again after so long. And I'll be trying to do a lot of the trade craftsman stuff too. I'm liking the crafting system that they have been putting out patch notes for lately, and I think they're making a lot of interesting changes. It's nothing too crazy different from what we've seen already, but they're trying to keep it balanced so that way people who only want to do crafting things, and I've met a lot of people like that, especially in my long time playing Final Fantasy 11 and 14, where people just do crafting like crazy and flood the market with some really cool items, and then spend the rest of their time just decorating their housing and socializing, role-playing, which is a perfectly acceptable way to play any video game, to be honest. I think a lot of people like that got into video games because of games like D&D and whatnot. A lot of really cool people that I enjoy chit-chatting with while I'm in game. It's not really my style of gameplay, though. I would prefer to just... I like the grind from low level to high level, personally. Getting to the end as fast as possible isn't fun for me. I like the journey, getting up there in levels. So that's probably gonna be the way I do this game as well. Now there are some forums out there that you can go and find that will tell you the fastest way to get up there is to take a bunch of missions and go do them with a group, but like for me, it's not my thing. Now look at all the videos they have out. Jeez, just awesome. And one of the main reasons why I'm going to be doing this content differently, I suppose, is because, well, there's already a ton of really good YouTubers out there that do all the patch notes and do just pure gameplay, and I want to do something a little bit different. And much like a large YouTube group that I've really enjoyed by the name of Neebs Gaming, they do a lot of cinematic stuff and do a little bit of role-playing for their videos. So I don't know, I don't really want to do exactly what they're doing, but I admire the style in which they put out their videos, so that's kind of what I'm gonna do. But I don't have the technical knowledge to make anything too fancy. So it's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be difficult as well. I think that's about all I wanted to go over as for what I think is going to happen in the future of this game. Just judging by all the feedback that I've heard from people on Twitter and from different forums, it sounds like the game is pretty stable and they're making a lot of really important balance changes. So I think the launch is going to be fairly smooth, although as a gamer, I always have to stay, kinda in the background on this because let's face it, whenever a multiplayer game launches, they tend to have a little bit of instability with the servers. But I have a lot of faith considering this game's technically been out for a while, even though most people don't have access to it. And they did do that big beta last year. Hopefully they've learned a lot and the servers will be good to go for when we begin our journey, as it were. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into places like this. Just look at it. It's awesome. Now, the other games that I've played have all had, like, dungeons and stuff like that. It seems like they're going more the open world boss type direction. So, hopefully that won't be too big a deal breaker for most players. And we'll see a lot of the traditional MMO players hopping over and trying this one out. I think a lot of people are nervous more so about this game because, let's be honest, it's Amazon, right? Like, they've had some issues with some of their other games. One of which was like an RTS type game that got shut down, and I guess that worries some people, but not every game is created equally, as well as it's not the same developers. I'm sure there's some crossover, but like MMOs are a different genre completely, and who knows, this might be their bread and butter, and I'm hoping to see them succeed in this. And I actually have a lot of faith that this game will do well. But the PvP really appeals to people. Granted, there's no real loss of gear now whenever you die, and there's not just this big grief fest where you can just go out and kill every level 1 player that you see. Now they're giving you the opportunity to flag for it and actually be prepared, and you're not really losing anything for doing it, but you are getting some nice rewards for participating, and hopefully they've struck a nice balance for it as well. I'm sure eventually a meta will come into play where people will have their own, like, this is the best gear for this situation, and this is the best armor, or this is the best weapon, or this is the best skill tree to go down. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I know this was a slightly more different video than I usually put out, but if you if you have stuck around this long, I really appreciate you. And yeah, continue to look out. This will probably be the last New World video we do until we're actually in the beta, because the NDA will be brought down by then. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game, and I hope you all are too. I know there's probably not any new information in here for you, and you were probably looking for some news, but I'm not the news kind of guy. But that said, thank you again, everybody. I appreciate you, and I will see you on the 20th. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.